I just can't handle it anymore. It's and just frothing colleges just full of radical environmental Nazis. These people mean business. Let's go to clip 2.
Yes, that's to try and save the polar bears, of whom there are 5 times more now than there were in the 1940s. Hardly, as he may think, the profile of a species in imminent threat of extinction in need of such protection. Unfortunately, we are no longer dealing with rationality. One of the most serious spin-offs from this global warming nonsense, among politicians in particular, is that we are passing, partly through incompetence, partly through scientific ignorance and illiteracy, and partly through malice, from the age of enlightenment and reason in which you and I were born, into what could be, unless we stop it, a new dark age.
Delicious drink on TV. All right, we're going to go back to the clip here in just a moment. What do I talk about in Endgame? Blueprint for global enslavement. I talk about a new dark age dawning upon the globe. An engineered dark age. It's mainly through malice. Yes, the dumbed-down, mindless public who believes carbon dioxide is a chemical weapon, they're falling to a new dark age through ignorance. But the controllers all know this is a sick joke. They want a world government to carry out the orderly extermination of the population. As Dr. Eric Pianka said at UT, as this film shows, and the exact same quotes are in this textbook, Eco-Science, that I talk so much about by this White House science czar, where they say a planetary regime to carry out forced abortion and infanticide and population reduction. They want to shut down industry that they don't own. They want you dead. You got that? These are the most demonic creatures ever seen. Grow up. Hitler wanted to kill people. Stalin wanted to kill people. Mao killed between 60 and 80 million. This is what these people do. Grow up. How do you think authoritarian tyranny would come here? They brainwash your kids that if it's for the environment, do it. Oh, we've got a home inspect. Oh, we got to take over your farm and ranch. Oh, we can't let you release water vapor from your factory. Oh, carbon dioxide. You got to pay us privately tax money. Here's the next clip.
Take one more question.
Just very quickly, can you make a linkage for us between the Club of Rome and the Copenhagen meeting that's coming up?
Yes. It's the same people. Essentially, this goes back to Maurice Strong, who is a Canadian bureaucrat at the UN. And what he did 25 years ago was to draw up the structure of the UN Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, and it was he who suggested it should be made an intergovernmental panel so as to make sure that it became a political, as Mark has said, and not a scientific process. Now, he was very much part of the Club of Rome set, the Sierra Club. They're all linked, actually, these people, and they've been at this for a long time. And the original aim declared by Maurice Strong 25 years ago was that a world government should emerge from the IPCC process. And one of the reasons why the media have been so relentless in not allowing the scientific or economic truth about global warming to be told is that many of them are also connected with this worldwide, very left-wing movement to try to set up a centralized world government, which, as Anne has so rightly said, is essentially anti-human and simply wanting to shut everything down that has been great and prosperous and free, particularly in the West and more particularly in the United States of America. This treaty shall not pass.
But they don't care because the bureaucracy through the central governments that are already signed on to UNESCO. When you sign on to the United Nations Educational and Cultural Organization, you agree to harmonize all your laws with UN policy. So see, they've already set up the bureaucracy. They're already doing most of this without the treaty. Just like before they even passed the health care bill, the states are already being given their policy manuals saying you will withhold taxes for insurance out of everyone's paycheck. Illinois has already begun it, even though they haven't passed it. They are lawless criminals. Now, we may beat this treaty, but they're going to come back over and over again. And we have to realize that we have to come back over and over and over again. And number one, just discredit them and expose them. Now, I wanted to, again, show you Endgame Blueprint for Global Enslavement and Fall of the Republic. Because I'll guarantee you, when we end up talking to Moncton, he's going to have seen our films. Now, I know he worked in the highest levels of the British government, and that's where he gets his knowledge. Kind of like I knew when we called Dave Mustaine up about their new album, it was going to be built after Endgame. And then he said, yes, it's the entire album is basically built off of Endgame, and we're very honored. I'll guarantee you Moncton's watching my films, because I have their own quotes here. Everything he's saying about New Dark Age, total control, everything he's talking about a war on humanity, making humanity the enemy. Those are quotes out of the Club of Rome. We republish the Club of Rome articles where they say they're going to kill us. These people mean business, ladies and gentlemen. You know, if there's anything wrong with Lord Moncton, is he doesn't go far enough. He knows what's going on. He's telling you about 95% of it. I think he's a good guy. He's always been good. We've looked at his record. But he's not telling you that they want to exterminate you. He's saying it's anti-human. It makes humans the enemy. He's almost getting there. He's almost telling you the big secret. You don't have to hear it from Lord Moncton. It's in Endgame. It's in Fall of the Republic. It's in Eco-Science. It's in State Department Memorandum 200. It's in the United Nations Biological Diversity Assessment 1996. It's literally, we own over 100 books back there in Aaron's office that we bought, written by these eugenicists in the last 30 years. Folks, they are going to turn loose hippies with machine guns on everybody. And when I by hippies, they're going to have short hair. Hippies are great people, the average hippie. Fake kind of hippioid, like Christianoids,